Hi there, it's Biketourer Mike here. I'm currently camped out here in Marina di Massa in Tuscany, Italy. Yesterday I took a plane from Skellefteå down through Stockholm and onwards towards Milan. At the Milan airport I was picked up by this really nice couple called Giancarlo and Cristina from Italy. And they were kind enough to drive me all the way down to Marina di Massa. And when we came here, we had a lovely Italian dinner and I got a nice good sleep as well. And the premise of this trip is to cycle all through Tuscany and make my way down to Rome. And I have about 9 days to do so. And in the meantime, I'm gonna enjoy some nice food and wine, hopefully here in Tuscany, and probably see a lot of nice towns and cities as well, such as Pisa, Siena, and Florence. So now I'm just gonna pack up my tent and head over to Giancarlo and Cristina's hotel, which is about 3 kilometers away from here, where we'll enjoy a nice breakfast before we hit the road. So we've had a nice breakfast now and we're ready to hit the road, and I'm just waiting for Giancarlo and Cristina to set up their bike and then we'll get going. So Giancarlo is basically doing all the navigating this first day of the tour around Toscana, and I'm just sitting back here, and it's actually quite nice not to have to worry about navigating. I'm just following Giancarlo and Cristina's lead up here and enjoying the sights around me. So we're basically right on the beach promenade, but we still haven't seen the sea yet, which is quite a shame. All the way from Marina di Massa, which is about 10 kilometers away from here, there are just restaurant after beach, club after restaurant. So unfortunately you're not able to see the sea from the bike path, which is a real shame.
C'è una cosa, non so se avuto una cosa che appellano militare, mi trovo dei ragazzi analfabeti.
We just found ourselves a local guide here who's taking us to the supermarket here in town. I need to buy some shampoo and toothpaste and other things that I didn't bring from home, so off to the supermarket now. So we've just started the first climb of the day, and Giancarlo and Cristina are basically kicking my ass. I'm having troubles keeping up with them. They're really strong cyclists. We reach Monte Magno, which is the end of the first climb.
We hope to see him
In the future.
in the future.
On our trip
Our
together.
trip together.
I am very happy to meet Michael.
And they have been lovely hosts and treated me to both a very nice dinner and a nice breakfast. And I'm really thankful for coming with you, and I hope you come to Sweden so I can
Yes.
show my hospitality for you.
Okay.
Ciao!
Ciao.
Ciao.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So now I'm on my own. Giancarlo and Christina are taking this road down to the coast, and I'm continuing on towards Lucca. And I've got a pretty big climb ahead of me here, and it's I think it's about almost 30 degrees now in the shade, so I got a tough bit of maybe 10 kilometers ahead of me here. So I just finished the second big climb of the day, and now I mainly have downhill all the way to Lucca, which is about 10 kilometers away from here. And I plan to do a tour around the whole town of Lucca. There's an old medieval wall that surrounds the whole town of Lucca. It's about 4 kilometers long, so I'm thinking about cycling along that wall. And after Lucca, I'm planning on ending the day in Pisa, where I've found a nice campground that I'm planning on staying at. So now I'll just follow this gentle slope down to Lucca after making that big climb just back there. So I just found my favorite store, Lidl. And Lidl is great because you can park your bike right outside, and they have windows so you can see your bike from the cashier, which is a really nice thing. And my main objective was to find some sort of toilet paper, since most of the campgrounds here don't have toilet paper. And this was the smallest package I was able to find, 2 of these huge rolls. So I'm just gonna keep one of them and throw the other one away. And I also managed to find 2 of these packets of sushi that I'm planning to eat for dinner now as soon as I reach the old town of Lucca. So I'm just about to enter the walls of Lucca, and the walls of Lucca is the second largest wall in all of Europe, and it's about 4.2 kilometers long. And Lucca was founded about 2,000 years ago by the Romans, and they actually had a wall before this one, and this wall was built in the Renaissance area in the 16th century, since the old wall that was from medieval times was mainly just high, so that the attackers couldn't climb over it. With the invention of gunpowder, instead you had to build a wide wall so that the cannons couldn't penetrate the wall from afar. So now I'm just gonna go through this opening here and hopefully get onto the wall, because there's a bike path that goes all along the 4.2 kilometer long wall. So The square that I'm standing on right now has a really interesting history. This was actually an old amphitheater back in the Roman days, but in the 19th century they started using this as a sort of marketplace, and a couple of small buildings were built on these grounds. So back in 1820 they decided to make this a square instead, with houses surrounding the whole square. So now you have houses in a sort of oval shape surrounding this whole square. And the old amphitheater is actually about 3 meters below where I'm standing right now on the square. So I'm leaving Lucca now and heading towards Pisa. And Lucca was a fantastic town with absolutely marvelous cycling infrastructure. But I suspect that the about 17-18 kilometers I have to Pisa is gonna be a lot more crowded with cars, since it's about 6 o'clock now in the evening, so a lot of people are getting back home from their work. So probably got an hour left until I'm in Pisa, where I've found a nice campground for this evening. So I just made it out of a horrible tunnel. I really hate tunnels. I bet I've told you that 100 times before, but at least I'm out of it now. And if we take a 180-degree turn, we can see the valley below me, which, if you look in the far distance over there, you can actually see the Leaning Tower of Pisa. So I have about 5 kilometers left now until I'm in Pisa, so I think it's GoPro time now. So I'm gonna take you along the winding road down to Pisa. So the traffic is really mixed here. Just a couple of minutes ago I went through a really busy tunnel plus a winding busy road after that, but then I found this super nice road with basically no cars at all, just a couple of cyclists. So I'm hoping I can take this in to the city center of Pisa now. Entering the walls of Pisa now. So this thing behind me is the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and I'm sure you've heard about it before. Well, it's about 7:30 in the evening now and the sun is about to set, so I'm thinking about heading over to the campground and then checking out all the sites here in Pisa tomorrow instead. So I think I'm gonna jump on the bike and then head out towards the campground. Well, with my typical luck, the only campground here in Pisa was totally full. But since I was on a bike and had a very small tent, I was allowed to come into the campground and find myself a place there. So, whew. So I think I'm gonna go in and pitch the tent now, and hopefully if it's not too late, I'm gonna go back into the city center here in Pisa and maybe have a gelato and a glass of wine to round off this first fantastic day of this trip here in Tuscany. So I finally got my gelato for the evening. Tomorrow or next week for you, I'll be exploring Pisa even more, and then I'll hop on to my bike again and start pedaling towards Firenze or Florence. So I hope you join me then, and until then, have a good one.